I believe we are at a profound point of technology-driven disruption, and we are going to need to respond to it. Things are not going to remain the same.
For our students, they don't see digital as different. It is around them all the time. Their lives are personalised in relation to their contact with most services, anything that they do really. They don't see it as something separate to them. Often as higher education institutions, we're quite slow to respond to technological changes, and our students' needs have changed. They want more flexibility, they want to have an experience that meets them where they are, and digital transformation enables us to do that.
HE processes tend to be very rigid, and so actually when you come along with a new idea, something more innovative, it's very difficult to then sort of adapt some of your systems to cope with different points of entry throughout the year. We're very much on the sort of September to July way of doing things, so it limits what you can do. So I think being digital, being able to transform, being more agile will help us be more prepared to look at different ways of working.
City St George's wanted to take part in the Jisc Framework for Digital Transformation pilot project because we felt that although we were making some progress around our core foundational IT projects, that we really needed to understand more about where there was a gap in the institution between our vision, our organisational mindset, and what we were currently doing. And so the pilot came along at a really helpful time in terms of thinking about where we wanted to go as an institution and where we needed to really prioritise and put our resources.
We looked at the different areas that were available to us, and we felt that organisational digital culture was a good first step. And we looked at the maturity model, and I think it was useful for us to sort of say, well, where are we at as a useful sort of baseline? So we did a survey with key stakeholders, all 6 of our schools, and to all our professional services and our student union, and we asked them to work with their senior leadership team to put together a combined response.
Just ran a workshop with us to talk through all the results, to get people engaged. And then the results of that was there were 4 kind of key areas that we wanted to work on. So particularly around vision, around capacity, around inclusion, and the point about accessibility. And then using that to kind of kickstart the creation of the Digital Innovation and Transformation Office and supporting staff in IT as well.
When I started in IT, it was all about machines and CPUs and storage and cooling. Nowadays, IT is all about people and how they work. When you introduce any sort of transformation, it affects people at a personal level. And that's why people are so important. You have to take them along for the journey.
There are pockets of innovation within the university. It's about how we bring and surface those pockets of innovation, look at the role it might play across the wider university piece, and then look at how to make that happen. And in order to do that, we need to bring people on board. We need to create the time and space that people need to truly engage in an active way.
It's always about building confidence in using these technologies and providing a lot of support and guidance. It's not just going, right, here's a new tool. It's about the messaging and the guidance and preparing people for it.
The Jisc framework for digital transformation actually provides a balanced view across all of the different areas where we're going to have to advance digital transformation. And at the centre of those are the changes we're going to need to make in training, in organisation, in culture, in systems, and in processes. All of those areas are going to have to be advanced somehow in synchronisation.
Initially, what we wanted to do was just benchmark our digital maturity. But the pilot also provided us with a structured framework. It has enabled us to develop a shared vocabulary and prioritise high-impact initiatives such as enhancing digital capability and promoting equity, all underpinned, of course, by a secure, modern and resilient IT landscape ready to adapt to emerging challenges.
Going forward as well, we're going to be looking at how we can use the framework to help guide and support what we're doing in a way that allows us to be a bit more organised in our approach, reflect, and make sure that we're not missing any piece.
It actually gives us a strong set of benchmarks and targets. And I think having a holistic view of the digital transformation is very helpful. It's culturally centred rather than technologically centred, which I think helps it to form a better approach.
Our degree programmes have become a lot more personalised. Students' interaction with the university is much more efficient, but also we are really using technologies to add value to the on-campus experience. So it's really about how we're using technology to create more efficient opportunities for learning, but when students come to campus, they've got a really rich value-added experience in the way they're engaging with technology, and it's enabled them to do that.
Sometimes technology delivers inflection points and discontinuities of interesting kinds, and I believe we are at one now. The choice is not about the pace of digital transformation. That pace is set for us externally. The choice is whether we respond to it and are able to sustain higher education as we understand it or not.